Welcome to Ladies Talking Business. I am your host, Moremi Akano. Our guest today is Oluwaranti Damilola Oluwatunmise, the founder of CodeSchool Africa, an EdTech aimed at making premium tech skills common amongst Africans. She is an associate member of the Nigerian Institute of Public Relations, an alumna of the Academy for Women Entrepreneur AWI by the U.S. Consulate and Embassy, Lagos, a Goldman Sachs 10,000 Women alumna. Damilola is also a Tech Women Program semi-finalist, a fellow of the African Women Entrepreneurship Cooperative, AWIC, and also has a mini MBA by FFBS and UK Nigeria Tech Hub. She's also a trained entrepreneur by the Central Bank of Nigeria through the Entrepreneurship Development Center. From leading a team of tech innovators and disruptors in Nigeria to leading a team of educators and faculty members through the training platform CodeSchool Africa. Damilola is passionate about technology and the opportunities it affords businesses. Happy to have you on the show today, Damilola.
Thank you very much, Moremi.
Okay, so let's talk about your field. How well are we embracing EdTech in Nigeria?
Okay, actually embracing EdTech is relative because if you look at the Nigerian landscape, the bodies or the people that have actually embraced it are private individuals, not the government. That's why you get to schools and you don't find any computers. You get to secondary schools, you get to the universities.
So you mean government secondary schools? Or
government secondary schools, even tertiary institutions, they haven't really embraced it. And that's why you see a computer science graduate that has the inability, that cannot code, that cannot run a single line of code. Do you understand? So it's actually, we are embracing it. And just like fintech, EdTech industry is coming up. But the actual sense is just like fintech, it is individuals and private entities that are actually really embracing education technology.
So there's still a lot for the government to do?
Still a lot.
Okay, so I do not have a background in science, in technology, and all those funny coding things you people always do. But I want to take some tech courses. What would you advise? What courses would you advise that I take that's not coding or software engineering and the likes?
The honest fact is, technology is in such a way that anybody can pivot to tech. You can start. I actually studied mass communication, so it's like a very big pivot for me. I went from the social sciences, the arts, into technology, and then I had a team of people that teach individuals and corporate bodies how to run lines of code, how to do all the stuff. So I keep telling people that if I can do it, then anybody can do it. Up to master's level, I studied mass communication. And the honest fact is you can start your pivot to tech in fields such as product design, UI UX design, data analytics. You don't need to learn lines of codes. You understand? Scrum Master, those are actually fields that you go into, and you don't need to be like a coding genius before you break even, before you become very relevant in the field. You know, across my career, I pivoted. I started as a digital marketer.
Okay.
So digital marketing is also a part of technology, and companies all over the world, they know the importance of digital marketers. Do you understand? And then I started as a digital marketer. Then somewhere down the line, I realized that, okay, if you want to really make sense out of this, you need to learn lines of code. You understand? And that's when I pivoted fully into tech. And then you then don't have people talking over your head. You can actually make meaningful conversation. But even if you start as little as okay, don't let me say little, because the honest fact is it is not little. There are digital marketers that makes millions of naira. Before I pivoted fully, I know what I made through digital marketing. Okay. So there are careers in tech that you don't need to learn lines of code. And what I tell people is tech actually does not bite. The honest fact is, just take it baby steps. If you, okay, I want to pivot to tech, when I advise people, when I counsel people, okay, what do you have passion for? Okay, I like math a bit. Then you can be good at data analytics. Data analytics is a subset of a large field that is data science. You can be good at data analytics. Then from data analytics, you can be good at product management. You can be good at UI UX design. These are tech careers that you don't require to learn coding to pivot to tech.
I think it's that coding that scares a lot of people.
And the honest fact is, coding actually does not bite.
It won't bite, but it's
it
scary.
doesn't. If you have the right mentor, the right tutor, and you understand how you learn, it doesn't bite. Honestly, you just need to get some syntax and.
I'll take your word for it. Okay, so what aspects of tech in Nigeria, or let's even say globally, are in high demand?
Data science, for example. We have data science. Nigeria is practically new at this. Do you understand? We are practically new at this, and until we just realize that, okay, I could be in Nigeria and work from home anywhere in the world. For example, a student of hers, after finishing a course, she went on to get a job with a company in the US, in Florida, from the comfort of her home in Ibadan, not even Lagos. Do you understand? So, and she actually pivoted through data analytics. But the pain points, what people, and I get questions such as this, and somebody was asking me, there was a time somebody was asking me, and it was like, okay, you know what, I really want to make it in tech. What is the highest paying tech job? The honest fact is, if you set out to do that, you just overburden yourself. You just find yourself in a situation whereby you have information overload. Just find where your path lies, where your passion lies. Okay, I don't like to code. For example, I don't like to code. I don't want to code. What do I like to do? Okay, I like to draw. You can't pivot to tech with that. You have good eye for design. You can pivot to tech. You can be a product manager somewhere. You can pay attention to details. You can be a scrum master. Do you understand? And I wouldn't say this is a highest paying tech job. What I told that person is their highest paying tech job, for example, software engineering but it is basically the value you place on yourself. So I think that answers it for me.
Well, I agree with you. I agree with you. We will go on a quick break now. Please stay with us. Thanks for staying with us. This is still Ladies Talking Business, and our guest is Oluwaranti Damilola Oluwatunmise, the founder of CodeSchool Africa. All right, Damilola. I think I'm a bit more interested in this particular question. So what's the best way to teach tech to people so that it's not boring and we are not sleeping while learning it?
You know, that question is actually what informed the idea of CodeSchool Africa, because people are actually forced to learn tech skills the way they don't want to. There are plethora of online courses. There are plethora of online platforms, but there are some persons that are tactile learners. They would rather learn in classroom with tutors and teachers. There are persons that don't have access to internet power and all that. So it is, I think the best way to teach tech to people is the way they are comfortable to learn. If I would rather learn with somebody holding my hand, why do I want to sit in front of a system? And everybody knows that internet costs 4 times more in Africa. Like, we don't even have the access to good and reliable internet. Do you understand? So why force people to learn the way they want to? So it is actually important that we realize that people, and that's why we have programmers that can really write good lines of code in Africa. We have people that you will see some websites and you'll be like, who did this website? Do you understand? Because they were forced to learn the way they don't want to learn. So what we do is we ensure that you have access to learn the way you want to. If you want to learn virtually, fine. If you want to learn in classroom, fine. So that's the best way to teach anybody tech skill, however they want to learn it.
Okay, so let's talk about you running the EdTech platform. How has it been? What has it been like to you? Do you feel like, so I won't tell you what to feel. So how has it been?
It has been very challenging looking at the climes of the country where we are in. Yeah, it has been very challenging because we use a blended learning approach to learning. That means you can learn, just like I said, the way you want to learn. And then we are at a location where we've not had power, electricity since February.
Oh, wow.
And we had to. So it has been, let me just say the least, it has been extremely challenging, but the results that we've been getting actually spur us to do it.
So it makes it worth it.
We have like 2 of our graduates, like within the space of 1 month, that got jobs even before finishing the school. We have somebody working for an international organization while at the comfort of our home. So the testimonials itself,
they keep you going.
Exactly.
Amazing. More conversations coming up with our guest after the break. I'm still here with Damilola Oluwatunmise of CodeSchool Africa. Okay, so you've talked about not having electricity. I know that's a challenge.
It's a pinpoint.
It's a pinpoint. I always ask for challenges, but you've mentioned that. So let me just talk about how we can make the EdTech bit more profitable as a business. In your own opinion, what do you think can be done?
You know, in Nigeria, we are actually getting it with fintech industries. And EdTech is another industry that is very, very lucrative. And to make it very profitable, we can't just do private entity alone. The government have to weigh in on it.
Okay.
The government have to do their parts. The government have to do what they ought to do.
So like what? What can they do?
Good access to reliable internet facility, for example, will go a long way.
Okay.
And then, because opportunities are bound online. And what people don't understand is EdTech is not just about gadgets. There are skills. Learning skills is actually a subset of the EdTech industry. Like, for example, you have a gadget, but you don't have a graduate that can actually make that gadget useful for you. So it's actually a pinpoint. So when the government weighs in on this by providing what they need to provide, I think there are individuals and private entities that have taken up the challenge, and they are skilling, upskilling, training, and retraining people in this regard. So that's my opinion.
Amazing, amazing. So how can we best build and encourage tech innovators in Nigeria? Because I'm sure there are a lot of people who have innovations in their head, or some they already have something to show, but they're not just being encouraged enough. So how can we do that?
Okay, I think the first thing we need to do is first understand that technology is here to stay. There's nothing you want to do about it. It is here to stay. And once we understand that technology is here to stay, we would embrace it better.
Okay.
For example, we need to orientate parents. Like, practically, you see a parent, especially in the areas that we cover, in suburban communities, when your kid is with a system, you practically think, is into Yahoo Yahoo. There are so many things, you understand? And the government, both individuals, the private sector, we all have a long way to go in first orientating people and then making these skills accessible. Like, it should be affordable. That's the crust of the matter. If they can't learn online, then if they are coming to your facility, let it be affordable. Let people be able to pay for learning these skills and making something of themselves.
Amazing. Thank you so much for coming on the show today, Damilola. Wish you all the very best.
Thank you, Moremi. Thank you so much.
You're welcome. Thanks for watching this episode of Ladies Talking Business. Do join us this same time next week for another episode. And don't forget to follow us on PlusTvAfrica Lifestyle on YouTube to catch up with our programs. I'm Moremi Akano. Bye for now.